today wanted to address some very important points which were very interesting to discuss. Mainly stuff I see being posted on the group. And unfortunately, there's only two of you now besides me, but we'll still talk about a few things. What do you guys think of cloud formations when people say and post photos that they looked up in the sky and they saw a formation that looked like somebody they know who passed or something like that? What do you make of this?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really see things. I mean, I see what they're saying. I can see that they've made a face out or, an animal, a cat. I mean, I see that they see it, but I don't know what it means. I don't know if it actually means anything or it's just, yeah, I'm not really sure. It's one of those things I don't really know.
Okay. Liz, can you make any sense of it? Do you know what it means?
No, I don't, and I don't always see what they say. They see up in the sky. I just maybe it's wishful thinking on the half of the person that posts it. I don't give it any credit, actually.
I think it makes them feel better to see something. It makes them feel good, and it's good. Then it would be good if they could actually see something and it makes them happy or gives them comfort. But like Liz said, I don't see it myself and put any thoughts much into it.
But do you think that is true comfort? I mean, if they're just imagination, but then the end result is they're getting some comfort from it. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
I think it's a good thing too.
It's not hurting anybody. Let's put it this way.
Right.
Right.
But I am from your school of thought, by the way. A lot of the times they point things out, and even if they circle something, and I'm looking at it thinking, what is this that you're seeing? I can't see it. And I don't
Part of it for me, Garo, is I can't really see much anyway. So
right.
I think maybe that's part of my problem is I don't really see it because I can't see it physically, can't see it myself, but yeah.
Well, Erica, you're not missing much because most of them are just I look at them, they're absurd.
Mm.
The ones that look
yeah.
remotely as close to something that we can recognize, they're semi okay, they can pass. I'll say okay, fair enough. We can say that this is close to it. But then what I fail to understand is how is a spirit dog, let's say, manipulating clouds in the sky to produce a formation that looks familiar to its owner. I fail to understand. Just doesn't make sense to me.
Makes no sense to me either, Garo.
Okay. Andrea, can you hear us now? We can't hear you. You need to unmute yourself.
Yes, I can hear you now. Thank you.
Great. I don't know if you caught the question here, Andrea. I was asking about cloud formations. A lot of people post these photos online, especially in the group, and they say that they're seeing a cloud formation that looks like a loved one, either a pet or a person, a human who has moved to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Does this make sense to you? What do you make of it?
Me, I've seen hearts out of clouds.
You've seen hearts
Like,
out of clouds?
yeah.
Okay.
But hearts I saw.
Okay. And do you believe that the heart is being sent to you by somebody specific on the other side?
Yes.
Okay. Do you only see the hearts in clouds, or do you see the hearts in other signs as well?
No. In coffee as well. For example, if I drink a cappuccino, I saw many times hearts as well. Even when the coffee is made by a machine, it still comes many times with the heart sign.
Well, in my culture, we believe that coffee is one of the major, what do you call it, mediums by which we receive messages from. So people
Mhm.
read the cup, people see things in the cup or on the surface of the cup. I don't know why, but coffee, it seems, is a favored option by which we receive signals or signs or things like this.
Mhm.
Now it brings me to another part of the question here. Quite a lot of people are divided here on whether there is any form of communication with people who have gone to the other side, or that there is no communication, or we shouldn't be communicating with the other side. What do you guys make of this?
Me, I believe in communication. I don't see why we should not communicate. But sometimes I wonder as well if I'm looking too much on science now than before. So, but I truly believe in communication, any kind of communication, like even dreams or signs or thoughts.
Okay.
I do believe. Yeah.
I believe like Andrea does too. For sure.
You don't believe, Liz, that we shouldn't be communicating?
Oh no, I think we should be communicating and accepting any communication from the other side. I do. Yeah.
You say it with conviction. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing you, but you say it with conviction. Why do you believe so strongly in it?
Um, just from what I've been told, what I've read, I just feel in my heart that it's there. The communication is there, and we just have to be open to it.
You don't believe that we are violating, let's say, biblical laws or religion by doing this?
No, not at all. No, no.
Erica, would you like to add something to this?
Yeah, so I believe 100% that we can communicate with people that have crossed over, loved ones, not loved ones, whoever. I believe we can communicate because of my own experiences, and not just myself, but even for you to be able to communicate with people that I knew that were alive, that of course you didn't know. And doing a reading with you, almost 2 years ago now, you've kind of shown me, um, you're talking to someone that I knew, my grandma, my great grandma, whoever it might be, and not only just to talk to them, but their personalities too. So it's not like you're just making things up, but you pick up right on their personalities. So I've experienced a lot of that, with you and a couple other people, and then, like I said, myself, the things that I can do, the things that I know, things that happened to me. So I've experienced a lot of it, and I believe we should. I believe we should be able to. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, because it's not causing any harm by doing it, by talking to people or communicating with people. There's no harm in it at all. I've never seen anybody come away harmed. I'm sure there are people that do voodoo things and things they shouldn't do, and probably contact dark entities, and that's not right. I think that's possible. I think people do that, and I think that's wrong. But I think it's good. I think God thinks it's fine.
The beauty of the Q&As that we have every once in a while is that we can speak openly and freely, because obviously every group, every forum, every platform, online or offline, has its own rules. So it's limited as to how much I can actually express myself. I've had a few people who have come up to me on the group Proof of Life, where they would say to me, we are not to speak with them, and it's what you're doing is against the Bible. Not one of them has yet demonstrated to me where in the New Testament Jesus says we are not to communicate with the other side. None of them can produce that. And I've read the Bible a few times, so I know that it's not there. It's rubbish. The other problem is, if we are going to say that, then we are going to try to explain how come Jesus was speaking to Moses, who was dead, on the Mount of Transfiguration, if I'm not mistaken, and to Elijah, if I'm not mistaken. So he was speaking to two people who materialized, and he was communicating with them. So I see nothing wrong with communication. And in fact, I see all the benefits from it. And I see that it heals wounds, it bridges gaps, it brings people closer, it brings clarity, certainty. It will not erase the pain, of course not. The pain is profound. The pain of loss is very profound, but it helps. It helps. It sort of helps to know that, yes, they are there. Maybe not in a way that we can, perceive them as such, but we know that there is evidence to support their survival of death, and that they are there. The personality, the characters, the humor, the dark humor, the craziness, everything is there. So this gives us comfort. All this is positive, and I fail to understand what harm could this bring. So I am 100% pro communication. In fact, I go as far to say that communication should be solid while we're here on Earth as much as possible, and to be maintained on the other side as well. But I like your opinions on this, and I appreciate them. Thank you. Who has a question?
Are we reincarnated with our soul groups, whatever that means?
What
Do you have an opinion about that?
What is soul groups, Liz? Sorry.
I don't know if that maybe you would tell me. I gather it's there's you're in a group, and every reincarnation you come back with people of that group.
Okay. The one thing that I'm not happy with is how people liberally answer questions without them really having facts. This is the mistake that people do repeatedly about the other side. When I don't know something, I will not answer. I'll say, look, I don't know. So that could be a possibility that we reincarnate as a group. Maybe we all have to meet as a family and gather, and then when we're all ready, everybody says, okay, away we go. Who knows? From what I've learned so far, and learned by means of personal experience, it seems that there are no specific details to how the process works. So, for instance, if I was to go to the other side, if I was to die tomorrow, I am on the other side. I may be given the option to reincarnate, and I might come back before my daughter or wife joins me. That's how I felt. I could be mistaken, who knows? Someone told me once, they said, well, if that happens, if you were to go there and come back, then your daughter here on this planet is going to miss you on both sides. She won't see you when you go, when she goes there, and she won't see you when you've come back. So I said, I don't know how it works. I think one thing though, I think we only come back when we're ready to come back. So it's not like, okay, we you know, you jump on a Ferris wheel and, oh, it's Garo's turn now to come back. No, I think you have to be in a specific level to be able to come back.
Can you tell us a bit more details about these levels? I was never, I'm a bit confused with these levels.
Andrea, I think it's the level from a personal level as opposed to there being an actual physical level on the other side. I feel like at a personal level, when you're ready to come back, then you will probably be allowed to come back. So let me give you an example here. If you wanted to join the police force and become a police officer, they will ask you questions. Why do you want to become a policeman or a policewoman?
Mm-hmm.
They want to see, are you fascinated by holding a gun and being, you know, catching the bad guys? Or what is it that's driving you? You're not just told, okay, come on in, here you go, here's a gun, here's a badge, and away you go. No, there is a criteria that has to be met. They need to check you out to see what you're made of. And also you have to be a certain person to be able to be in service at that sort of level. So I feel they have to, perhaps they will evaluate your fulfillment on earth. They will evaluate the maturity of your spirit, your mind, where you are within yourself, if you're ready to reincarnate or not. All this has to come into action, into play. I don't feel that, you know, when you go, you bounce back to earth without having gone through a process. That's what I feel. That's my personal opinion.
And do you think here on Earth is like when we are coming is like with I mean, I know for everyone is coming with an expiration date, but is it like predefined, like you live until you are 20 or you live until you are 30 or
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, who knows?
Hmm.
You know, some people say, oh, yes, in my culture in Lebanon, they believe that very strongly. They say, oh, your destiny is predefined. This is your, you know, this is the time that you're going to die. This is what God has chosen for you. I have no idea. That could be true or that could be not true. I don't know.
I also believe in that, but it's just my personal belief.
But you see, this again, the problem here is I always think of babies that are born and they live for a few months and then they die. So I think, okay, if did they come with an expiration date, what was it for? Why would they be born in the first place? Do you see what I mean?
Maybe for the parents to experience something.
That is the
know.
worst experience possible because I know from close family who have lost babies and all the people who have consulted with me who have lost. It is.
I also experienced, so I know how is it.
Yeah, no. I hope never anyone goes through it. And I hope this is not the case. As I said, I hope this is not the case because if it is, then I'd like to meet whoever on the other side is choosing that the baby will expire in 3 months, and the parents have to go through all that pain.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah, I also wonder. That's why
Yeah.
I asked and I questioned
Thank you.
this.
Do you think it's wrong that we question?
No, no.
Liz, do you think it's wrong to question?
No, questioning is good. Yeah, you learn more.
Exactly.
If I was to ask Erica, I know the answer because Erica is a scientific-minded person. There will be more questions than answers.
Yeah, questions are good. That keeps people thinking, and there's always change and better things when people think and question.
And questions are honest.
Yeah.
I feel that is when we are honest. I feel when we have questions, we're being honest because this is the nature of who we are. We don't come with answers. We need answers as well as tears. I feel tears are honest. So, yeah, I'm all for questions. However, I am totally against people who pose and pretend that they have the answers. Unfortunately, a lot of mediums, quite a lot, and I'm seeing more and more of them, are just full of crap. They don't know what they're talking about, but they'll just talk to appear that they know. I fail to understand, why do they need to prove themselves? Just speak about what you know, full stop. So, but it's quite interesting with how the world is progressing now, with the scientific world becoming more aligned with the unscientific world. Let's put it this way, the world of spirit, the paranormal, they're sort of coming together now, closer and closer. Many of the doctors and medical people who consult with me, and bless their souls, all of them, I love them. Many of them are now quite open about their belief. And they say that, look, science doesn't prove everything. There is something out there which we don't understand. And I say, okay, can we go a step further? They say, we will go a step further when we have more data. But at least now they are no longer denying it. While in the past they would say it doesn't exist. Now they're saying, no, there is something which we don't understand. So this gives me a lot of hope for the future. Liz, you were in the medical world, weren't you?
Yes. I
How
was a
do you,
nurse for 43 years.
bless you, well done. Tell me, how do you feel about it all? Or how did you feel during the process? Were you always a believer?
In spirit?
Yes.
Yes, always. Yeah.
What made you believe?
Well, I guess in my heart and in my soul, and speaking to patients that have had experiences,
And
it's just undeniable.
And Liz, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, look, when I do my readings, I don't remember most of the stuff. I don't remember, uh, but I do remember something distinctly. Were you in palliative care? Were you end of life care, or did you work at that level with people?
Not specifically, I worked with many people that were dying, but they were probably in intensive care.
Okay. What can you share with us? Did they say anything? Did they share anything with you?
Mm. The ones that shared are the ones that didn't actually die, but came close, and then they came back. And I remember one. This was a long time ago, probably 50, I mean, 55 years ago, and she was in a nursing home, and her name was Eva, and she was in the hospital. She almost died. To heaven, she said, Jesus held me in the palm of his hand, and he said, Ava, it's not time yet. She came back into her body. Um, yeah, there's others too,
Was she scared? Was Eva?
and it's
Was
always
she
the same.
scared? Was Eva?
Pardon me?
Was Ida scared at all through the experience?
Oh no, 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 no.
No.
No, she's looking forward to actually dying and staying over there. No, she was she was quite religious. Um, yeah, there's others. One mother, this she had two babies, and they almost lost the mom, and and she almost, I mean, she, I guess she went to the other side. She said, I want to stay here, and the person or the spirit that she talked to said, you have to go back because you've got those babies to take care of. And the spirit said, I love those babies more than life itself. You have to go back for them. Uh, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So it seems that we have a very thin, very, very thin veil between our world and the other world.
I think so. It might be getting thinner every day.
Well, for me as a medium, I sometimes, hear me out on this, I sometimes wonder which side of the veil I'm on. Seriously, there are
Maybe
times when I think my reality changes, meaning I'm here with you now, but sometimes I'm on the other side as well because I'm opening up to the other side, speaking and linking with loved ones for my clients or whatever. So sometimes I wonder, where am I, for goodness sake? Am I here? Am I there? Where am I? So
maybe you travel back and forth a bit.
I'm sorry?
Maybe you travel back and forth
Who knows?
at times, you know.
Who knows how it works? But I mean, it's not an ominous experience. On the contrary, it's an absolutely beautiful experience. And I love when I connect with the other side for my loved ones here on earth, and I connect with them from the other side. And I love it when they send them a tickle and make them laugh. And I absolutely love it. Even if they make the loved ones here on earth cry, it helps them. It's a way of healing, even if a message comes through that makes them cry. Recently, I've had the honor to be of service to a beautiful lady called Kathy, who's booked me a few times before. And this time her husband came through. He came through, and I described what I'm seeing, and um, and then the husband showed me a lake, a beautiful lake. I thought it's a lagoon or something, and I described to her what I'm seeing. She says, go on, you know, what are you, what's special about it? Uh, and I told her to be quiet because I want to tune in and see. And then I saw urn, an urn with an ashes urn, and I understood. I got the feeling that somebody dispersed the ashes, and I said, whose ashes are dispersed in that lake? And that's when she was very emotional. She cried and cried, and she said, this is the sign I asked him to give me so that I know for fact that it's him coming through. I loved it. I must say, it affected me because I've just lost my mom a few weeks ago, and it affected me. I usually I don't get emotional, but I cried during that session. I don't see anything wrong with it. However, it touched my heart so deeply that I played a little role here in bridging the gap, bringing them closer so that she has that comfort in her heart that all is not lost. He's not in the lake. He's actually somewhere else, and he's waiting for her.
It's such a special gift that you have, Garo, to bring people together like that.
Bless you, thank you. The only special thing I see about this, and I swear to God, I'm not. This is not scripted or anything. The only special bit about this is A, I have the honor to be of service to God, and B, I have the honor to be the link between both worlds and to help people.
Mhm.
These two are what make it special. The gift itself, trust me, Liz, I don't want to think about it. There was a time I wanted to read and analyze and make sense of it. Now I don't want to even think about it. All I do is I sit down. When it's time for me to open, I open up with a prayer and I ask for permission to be of service and surrender myself. How it works, what happens, I don't know. The memory bit is challenging because I come out of a session and I don't retain much. Usually, as time goes by, I almost forget everything that happened in the session. And one day, a medium, a very good medium friend of mine, an older lady who was integral to me in my life, and she's a psychotherapist as well. And she told me, she said, Gara, because of the work that you do, you help people at very deep levels, especially people who are hurting inside, abused, victims of these sort of things. I'm not going to go into details, very, very deep, painful levels. And she said, you were designed in such a way, or spirits have chosen that you don't retain memory. Because if you do, you will live with the pain and the hurt.
Mm.
So I'd like to think of myself as a simpleton goldfish. I go through the experience, come out of it as if nothing has happened. Thank God for that.
Yeah, that's good. But I don't know if you realize how much comfort you give us, the ones that we do a reading with you in this grieving process.
Thank you, Andrea.
It helps a
Thank you.
lot, a lot.
Thank you. It touches my heart. Seriously, this means the world to me. I swear. In my life, this was a big challenge for me because I come from a culture where the measure of a man is through their money, their power, their
Yeah.
material belongings, and I failed in all three counts. But it seems I have succeeded in two things. I chose a good wife, and I chose the right path in life. So I'm deeply honored. Thank you.
Yeah.
I said the wife bit because she's somewhere close. Right. So somebody was asking once, can we reincarnate as animals? Do we come back as animals? Well, I don't know. What do you think of that?
Me,
I don't
think
think we do.
anything is possible. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Me, I think everything is possible. So I don't know as well, but I think why not? I don't know. I had a dog for 12 years, my own, and for us was like part of the family. And I felt him like I felt everyone else in the family. So they have a soul as well. So I don't think it's so important, the body that we have. And that's why I think it can be possible.
Andrea, I loved your answer. Absolutely loved your answer here. The emphasis should not be on the physical appearance or the body itself, but the soul, regardless. I love the answer. Thank you. Liz, what do you think? Am I going to come back as a frog?
I hope not.
Well, if I do, Erica will give me a kiss and I'll turn into a frog.
I don't think we come back as animals. I think there's enough to do as a our souls as humans, that no, I just don't think so. I know that animals have souls and that we'll see them again in heaven, which is very reassuring. But I think it's just I think it's kind of inconceivable that we would come back as an animal.
Fair enough. I can also see where you're coming from with that. Uh, what about you, Erica? What do you think?
I don't think humans come back as pets or animals. I think that they have more pure souls than humans do. And I think that humans aren't worthy of having a soul of a pet or an animal.
Well said.
That's beautiful answer as well. That's a beautiful answer. You know, in my earlier part of life growing up in Lebanon, in my culture, animals are subhuman. Where I come from, animals are not considered or regarded highly or with any importance. Some are there for us to feed on, and the others are kept as pets. They are very expendable. If they die, they die. You just get a new one. There's no link as such. However, having lived in England for 30 plus years, in fact, 35 years, and having worked with animals as well, met many animals during my healing days and so forth, and having observed behaviors of animals, I started to see a different side to them. That, yes, we don't understand them. They don't communicate with, in a human tongue in a way that we can comprehend them. But if we study their behavior, that indicates some sort of communication. And I started to love them and respect them. And I started to see that, yes, they are beings, sentient beings, with feelings, with minds of their own and spirits of their own. And now I've started to respect them even more because I've started to see that most of them have a healing gift in them. But we have yet to learn to, tap into it or to receive it from them. I'm going to give you a small example here. As I said earlier, my mom passed away about a month and a half ago. So my dad is in mourning, and my dad's health is quite bad. He has dementia and so forth. We have a stray cat that lives outside. It comes as it wishes. It is so friendly. It's a ginger, beautiful cat. I love cats. And this thing, you sit down, it will come and sit in your lap, purr, play. Amazing, amazing. This cat was never really part of my dad's life. When my mom was alive, she wouldn't have a cat in the house. However, now it would come and sit by my father without intruding on him, just to be present by his side. And I didn't see him complain about it. And I didn't get any complaints from him about why is the cat here or whatever. It would just sit there and sleep next to him on the sofa, on the couch. And I thought the first thing that came to my mind, I thought, this cat is actually giving my father some sort of healing here by it sitting next to him. How would this cat know that this man is very sad right now? It's picking up. So I would say I'm with you, Erica. I don't think we deserve to be born into it, into being spirit, into animals. And I don't subscribe to the idea where people say that uh, karma will punish you. If you are bad, you will be created as an animal. I think that's total rubbish. Yeah. I think if we are to look at this objectively, animals are by far, far more advanced than we are. So, Andrea, you said you had a dog for 12 years, did you?
I had. He passed away.
Okay.
But I had a similar experience with another dog that we bought like 2 weeks before the other one died. Even I never wanted to buy a dog, but I don't know. I just agreed to buy another dog, and then the other one left us. And because it was so small, in the same time I lost a baby. So that dog was only sleeping on my arms. So I needed so much after that experience
Yes.
that I don't know. It helped me a lot on that period, that puppy that I
Yeah.
had.
Yes, that's what they do. And this is the beauty. This is the absolute beauty of them. As I said, I saw the cat sitting by my dad and giving
Yeah.
him comfort, you know? So this is wonderful. I'm loving the animal kingdom and respecting it even more every day. Incidentally, the cat in Lebanon gave birth to 4 kittens. It turns out she's a female, and she gave birth to 4 cute, absolutely cute kittens. So we have a family of cats and kittens now, and beautiful. I'm looking forward to playing with them soon when I go back. Anyone wants to add anything to this before we move to something else?
No, me not.
There is a subject that's opened once in a while, and I've seen it being discussed on the proof of life. Sometimes I feel like, should I say something here? But I say no, hold back, leave it. I let people make their own decisions. The subject about hell. I don't want to go into the dark things, but however, do you believe in hell?
I'd like to believe just because I know a lot of people that belong there. But yeah, I don't know. I believe in hell, or is the opposite of heaven. Like if someone is really bad on earth, they don't deserve to be in heaven. So where else are they gonna go? So I'm not really sure if I believe in a hell or that they're just reincarnated and have to redo life until they get it right.
Uh, wouldn't that be the easy way out if they're like recycled as such? Because where's the justice in that?
Yeah.
What do you feel? I mean, do you feel there is a universal justice when we get to the other side? People like Hitler, does he get justice for the pain that he's caused all these poor people?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
That's
hope
why I
he
think
does.
hell.
I think you both spoke at the same time. Sorry, Erica, what did you say?
I said that's why I hope that there's hell for people like him to go and just suffer for eternity. That'd be great.
Okay. And Liz, what were you saying?
I don't remember. I mean, I think it was. I hope. I hope there is a justice for people like Hitler. Um, I don't know. I'm still grappling with that. Is there really a hell? Uh, I don't know. Part of me thinks there is, and part of me thinks no, there isn't. That
Andrea,
we
what do you
just.
think?
I don't know. I used to think about that there is a heaven and hell, but then I was lately, since I lost my husband, I was reading a lot about afterlife, and as much as I read, I realize that there is no hell, at least what I was reading. But I was reading that there is I don't know, a live review before you go to the beautiful and nice place, like let's call it heaven. Um, and maybe that it's the, I don't know, the justice, or people are suffering from what they did wrongly, but I really have no clue what to say about this, if there is or not.
I asked the question once to try and get some answer from my communicator. And we define things at a earthly level, at a human level, like heaven, hell. We are black, white. We are, very, we define everything, but we don't really comprehend. The answer that he gave me is that no one can hurt you more than you can hurt yourself, because you know what hurts you most. So I feel that this sort of answer gives me an indication that perhaps it's a personal type of experience, as opposed to it being like a furnace where everybody's being burned forever and so forth. So that you have to live with yourself, with whatever it is. And you can't escape it. So the whole of records or your life review, that's you. Because you know what you did. You know where you went wrong. You know where you went right. So I feel perhaps that's the sort of thing. And I feel that this is the justice that is served within yourself, I think. That's all I know.
Well, what do you think about? Do you think Hitler really thinks that or felt that what he was doing was wrong?
No, Hitler at the time when he was doing it, he truly believed he's doing the right thing.
Right.
Okay, because to be able to kill all these people in the most horrible ways, he must believe that he's doing good. You see, when the devil plays games with you, he will not tell you to, Liz, go out there and hurt people. He will give you the sense of justice, power, that Garo's hurting you, Liz. Go and deal with him. You're doing good. You know what I mean? It empowers you with the feeling that you're doing good. This is the case of all these horrible people out there, like ISIS, Qaeda, and all of these people who are hurting people. They don't believe that they're doing bad. They believe that they're doing good. They're serving the universal good. Even though what they're doing is absolutely grotesque, they still believe that what they're doing is good. But one day they will come out of it. One day they will start to realize that, hang on a minute, we were not really doing good. And it sort of catches up to them. So whatever we do here, I mean, I'm not saying that, oh, I killed a fly, so I'm going to have to live with that in, in the world of spirit. No, I don't think that's significant. However, if I hurt people, humans, if I hurt people, consciously or unconsciously, I have to deal with some sort of a consequence. I don't think it's an eternal process. I fail to understand why would God require us to be punished eternally. I think this is more like a human level by which we want to see people who have done so much wrong punished forever, burned forever. I don't think that serves a purpose. So it's a combination here. I hope I've made myself clear. I think I've rambled a bit too much here.
Yeah, in my mind, it gives me that we are talking about the justice. I don't also understand why those people that do such a horrible things are left on earth for so long and others are taken away so early. That's always a question that I will have forever in my mind. I mean, good people are taken away very early from us, and the bad ones live until, I don't know, 80, 90, 100, I have no clue, but I constantly have this question in my mind, and it's not fair, you know.
I used to think this way before, Andrea. I don't think about this because this, among many other questions, have no answers. And no
I,
one here, no
yeah,
living
I know.
person can tell me the answer to this. No one can convince me because it also affects me. And I think nearly every single client who I've seen, and I've seen thousands now over the years, all these beautiful souls who have lost loved ones, it pains me, especially when they've lost children or their son or daughter or whatever. It hurts me so much. And I look at them, especially come around Christmas time, and I look at them like, you poor things, what can I do for you? I wish I could do more. But then I look on the other hand, and I've got scumbags. I'm not going to go far. I'm going to go to Lebanon. We have scumbags who are absolutely evil, hurting the people. And I say, where's the justice here? They're getting away with
Yeah,
murder, and these people are suffering. But I think
yeah,
I refuse to think about this anymore. My job, as I see it, is not to question, but to help. To help. Maybe one day when I go to the other side, I can understand the plan more. If there is a plan, I don't know.
yeah,
And if there isn't a plan,
yeah.
then that's it.
I know it's a question without answer, but still, it doesn't give me peace
Yeah.
if I know that there is no answer.
It's a very, very, very valid point, very painful point, very
Mhm.
difficult point to understand and to appreciate. Um, and it also contradicts a lot of the teachings from, let's say, the Bible, where it teaches us that God is love. And you think, okay, God is love. Well, where are you when this is happening? So
Yeah,
there's a lot of things here that don't make sense to me.
yeah. I
Yeah, I
feel the same.
stumble over
A lot of things.
the Lord's Prayer. I stumble over that where it says, forgive those who have trespassed against us. It's really hard for me to forgive. Um, I guess it kind of goes along with what we're talking about. Is there a heaven? Is there a hell? Should we forgive those? God tells us we should forgive those, but yikes, I don't know how to do that.
Oh, when you find out how to do it, please let me know. We're not superhuman. Okay, the rule number one, we're not superhuman. The Lord's Prayer was taught to us by our Lord Jesus Christ, bless him. We're not at his level. He forgave them while he was on the cross. Me, I wouldn't. I would find it very hard. In fact, if somebody crosses me in the wrong way, I have to calm myself down from retaliating, never mind forgiving them. So we're not at that level, and I've come to accept that. Fair enough. I do try to forgive some people when I can, but I need time. It needs time for me to forgive. And it's not easy to forgive. I have a list. Uh, Erica Silvers, you're not on the list. So
You have your own naughty and nice list.
no, I have a list, and maybe I can forgive them one day. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'll sometimes I try.
I think it's healthy to try and forgive. You don't have to forget what was done, but if you keep hatred inside of yourself, I don't think that's a good thing to do. Um,
True.
I really don't. So forgiveness is a good thing.
You're far better human than I am, my dear, and I am learning to be this way. It takes a lot of strength to be able to do that, to differentiate both the memory of what they've done the feeling of the hurt that you've got. So I'm learning to differentiate both, and I'm learning to live with it. I don't know how. Andrea, can you forgive?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's not that I lived something very traumatic that I had to forgive someone that did. For me, it's like the universal um, fairness, that I don't understand. Um, but yeah, I forgive people, usually, many times.
That's good. That's very
Yeah,
good.
I cannot live other way.
It's very difficult. Seriously, it's very difficult not to. I mean, if we are going to go with the teaching of Christ, there's a very good reason why he used uh, this concept of forgiveness. And it's emphasized in the Bible, it's emphasized through his teachings. He quite often referred to forgiveness. Whether he was trying to, help us lessen the impact of others on us so that we don't go into the tit for tat situation that we live right now, because now it's like, oh, Andrea hurt me, so I'm going to hurt her back. And then Andrea says, oh, he hurt me, I'm going to hurt him back. And it's going on and on and on. Maybe this was his vision, to try and disperse these feelings as much as possible so that we don't have an escalation. Who knows? But it is something, it is very difficult to achieve. Questions? Anybody has a question?
So when you are, you said you're sometimes feel like you're halfway here on, this plane of Earth, and then sometimes you're on the other side. Do you ever surprise anybody that's a spirit? Like they're like, oh my gosh, he can see me.
Yeah,
Do you surprise them?
yeah, that's happened before.
Hmm.
That's happened before. It's happened, and I'm trying to remember exactly when. Yeah, it's happened. I had an older woman who came through. She's the grandmother of a lady who I was giving a reading to, and she was super excited. Super excited, like wow,
Hmm.
that we can actually link. She was and then she took me by surprise because she was very good at communicating. Turns out that she was quite empathic herself when she was here with us. So perhaps that contributed, and she was able to be a good communicator. But I've had these sort of reactions, correct? Yes.
Hmm.
Usually, Erica, whoever we're meant to be linking with, they would have been authorized to link, authorized to come through. By that, I mean, when I'm doing my sessions, I'm sort of surrounded, guarded, as well as my client, by the blessed angels or communicators, whatever you want to call them, guides, spirit, on the other side, to make sure that only the good people come through. Nothing that's negative, no bad energies, nothing that could harm in any way. This is a blessed session. It's opened with a prayer. It's blessed with a prayer. So whoever comes through is actually allowed to come through. But still, some of them express, as that lady, fascination, like, wow. So just as we get surprised from this side, they get surprised and appreciate it from the other side as well.
Can I ask
When you,
something?
Yeah, sure.
Um, I was always wondering, what exactly do you see? Do you see really like a person, or is just thoughts that are coming to you, or you actually see something like a person?
That's a very good question, Andrea. It's a combination. I feel, I hear, I sense, I see. So I may get all four. I may get a combination of one or two or more.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I see them in my mind's eye. I see exactly what they looked like. Sometimes I just get the feeling that this is what they are like. This is their personality. This is how they are. Sometimes I hear them. So it's a combination of things. Basically, I feel maybe I'm blessed to have a radar that can receive at many different levels. So I can hear them, see them, feel them, sense them. So different things. So I can capture them at many different levels. I love it when I'm able to see them because then I can describe what I'm seeing,
Mm-hmm.
who I'm seeing, what they look like. For instance, the man who comes in and he wears a tie, but the tie is always short. He never gets it right. And his wife recognizes that as a unique sign from him. So this aspect, for instance, can't be conveyed with feeling. I have to see it physically. I have to see it visually. Uh, it all depends. Sometimes I'm not to see them, especially if they're victims of trauma. If they are a victim of like murder, for instance, if their death was violent or whatever, sometimes I don't see them. I just sense them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they spare me the pain. I don't know. Maybe I'm not allowed to go into that level. I have no idea. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I see them and they look absolutely beautiful. There's one unique girl that comes through, and her parents have actually booked me a few times. And every time I see her, she is a beautiful angel, absolute angel. She's in the 16. Yeah, she's 16 when she passed. Blonde hair, blue eyes, beautiful smile on her face. And every time I see her, it's an incredible feeling I get because I sometimes see her. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, different
Next
level.
time I will ask you what you see. Because me, when I had sessions with you, I don't remember if you ever told me that you actually see my husband or not. You told me things about him, but I don't remember if you really saw him. But I can ask, right?
Of course you can. Yes, when we meet one day, remind me, please.
Next week.
Yeah. So what you do is before we start the session, ask him. Okay,
Ah, okay.
tell your husband, bless his soul. Tell him, look, make yourself visible to Garo. Connect with Garo. Let him
Okay.
let
Okay.
him see. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Good. 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 I will do. Thank you.
sure. I was one
Does it,
day doing a demonstration of mediumship, maybe a couple of years ago. I can't remember. Anyway, I thought I'll get some sleep before I do the session, just to relax. I was also a bit nervous because mediumship is not like on demand. It's not, you can't just hit the remote and put Netflix on. It doesn't work this way. Sometimes I may not pick up, sometimes I may pick up. So anyway, on that day I slept. When I woke up, I wasn't yet open. I didn't manually open myself, but when I woke up, I had a very interesting, distinct feeling that there's a presence in my room. And I felt that this is a child. A child is present in my room. And I thought that this child is very close, physically close, and on my bed where I'm sleeping. So I went, had a shower, prepared for the meeting, came back, and I started by the Lord's Prayer. When I was going to the shower, I felt the energy around me. I felt that this little boy was around me. Came out of the shower, and I again felt him. And this time I started to see him. Rough, very not very strong, but I could see the silhouette. I could see him sometimes, and that he was sitting on my bed. So I started the prayer and I opened up. He never went anywhere. He was sitting on the bed next to me. So I started the meeting and I said look, before we begin, and I know there was about maybe 24, 30 people. And I said, before we begin, I need to acknowledge a child energy who's here. And several people said, who have lost children. And I said, no. I'll come to the person whose child it is. All I'm saying is, I'm feeling there's a child here in the room with me. And I got the feeling, and I went straight to his mother. And I said, it's you. And she acknowledged. She said, yes, I lost him as a child. And that's when I got the feeling that special needs. I said, special needs. She said, absolutely, he was special needs. And then she told me, she said, Garo, before we had the session, since yesterday, I've been asking him to make sure that he's there with you and get your attention, because I've asked him to come through today. So it works.
Mm.
Okay, so Andrea, ask your husband to connect with me.
Yeah.
Okay, tell him, come on, get your act together, come, come through.
Does it help when you see a person, a spirit, with what they're wearing, with clothes they're wearing, to what time period they're from, or anything like that? Do you ever see anybody from old-timey clothes?
It's happened in a few times when I've seen people like cowboy outfits. I've seen a lady like I don't know what to describe it, but if you've seen like the maids in Mary Poppins, the maids who wear that sort of uniform. I've seen soldiers, some from the World War, some before them. I've seen Red Indians with the feathers and stuff. So you get all sorts of people, and a lot of the time I don't understand what they signify, but the client understands where it's coming from. So certain colors that they come through, like colors that they used to wear, colors that they don't like. Yeah, it's very interesting. Incidentally, I do need to share this. A lot of people think that it is all sort of dramatic and all serious on the other side. It's not quite the case. They have a lot of giggles, they have a lot of laughs. They have pleasure, they have humor, intelligent humor, not stupid. They love to see us smiling, they love to tease, because they're so content where they are. This is their way of letting us feel that they're good, they're happy, give us the assurance. So those who are on the higher plane, let's put it this way, who have not hurt people and so forth, it's a lot of fun up there, a lot of fun. I've seen dances, I've seen people laughing, clapping, like funny things. I've seen them arguing with each other. I've had a lady where her family were Italian, and we started off with her mom, then her grandpa came in, then her husband, then this, that, the other on the table, and then 10 people are talking at the same time. And she laughed. She said, this is how my family were here on Earth. This is exactly how they were. They talk at the same time. So it's quite remarkable.
Yet for me, it's so hard to. I'm very sorry. You can say it.
No, you go, Andrea.
I'm saying that it's so hard for me to understand how can they be happy over there when we are suffering so much here. Really, for me, it's so hard to understand this. Each time I heard that, now I'm talking about my husband, that he is fine, he is well, and me, I'm a mess um, over there. So for me, it's so hard to understand how can he be okay or happy, or I don't know how to say it, um, to see me and the kids like we suffer.
Andrea, I mean, what I will answer what I know. I'll answer
Yeah,
what I can, okay? Because obviously I know that you suffer. I suffer. We all suffer.
yeah,
I have some bad moments sometimes when I think of my mother, who I absolutely adore and love. She was my best friend.
yeah,
And if anyone, like a medium friend of mine, she told me the other day, she said, "Oh, your mom is in a good place." And I said, "No, you're missing the point. She's in a good place. Yeah, I know she's in a good place, but I miss her. I miss her."
yeah,
So I think they like to make us feel that they are okay. They are happy where they are. And I think that is genuine. I think that is how they are over there. They are happy. They are relaxed and happy. They don't have the worries that we have. But unfortunately, through our cultures, through our education system, through our religion, through our whatever it is, we are never prepared mentally, emotionally, spiritually for the separation. So I've written an article maybe last week about how it is in Ghana, in West Africa, which I've witnessed. And people there, when they lose somebody, they throw a massive party. They they love it. They throw a party because they say, finally, that person is liberated and they've gone to the higher life. So they celebrate it with lots of drink. They drink rum until they pass out. They dance and they rejoice. They're happy, clapping, dancing, and so forth. And I saw it with my own eyes because my wife, she was born in West Africa. I was going by somewhere and they're all dressed in red, especially the females. Can't remember what the men were wearing. The females were red dresses. And I saw them dancing and I said to my wife, "What's this? What's going on here? It's a party." She said, "No, it's a funeral." So it's very much unlike how our cultures in Lebanon, they go crazy with tears. They wear black. It's a very morbid, very tragic situation. Maybe we're not
yeah.
prepared. Maybe we should be better prepared. I don't know. Maybe we've got the wrong way about this. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Erica? Do you think we should change? We should like accept death as a part of our life and be different?
Yeah, I think that different people, different cultures, different parts of the world have different theories about death and what happens, and some people are just devastated when your loved ones die because you love them so much. You're gonna miss them and stuff. But I believe that we're all meant to be in heaven together, and we just have to do this little stepping stone on earth, maybe a few times if you're reincarnated. But I don't get sad about death like I was telling my daughter the other day, I believe in God and heaven, so I'm not as sad, I think, as a lot of people might be.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Uh, Maybe this is how we should be better prepared. I'm not sure. I don't know. And how much prepared can we be? I mean, what sort of comfort can somebody be given? Yeah, we know the script. People tell me, and during the funeral with my mom, people were telling me, oh, she's in a better place. Okay, but I've lost her here as a human being. One guy even went as far to tell me, why are you crying? Aren't you supposed to be a medium? You of all people should know that how, that she lives and that you can link with her. Can't you link with her? And I said, no, she's the last person I will link with because we are so intertwined. We are so connected. How would I know if this is my imagination or if it is actually her? So I'm not going to link with her. And I'm going to leave it to her to visit me in a dream or so forth. And yes, as a medium, for the record, I think if you're a real medium, you will hurt even more than anyone because we've got that sensitivity and it hurts. So it makes me no different than anyone else. Maybe it is some comfort to me and everybody else that we are sort of able to link with them. I'd like to think that my mother is happy over there playing her slots and jackpot, whatever you want to call it, because she used to be a sucker for it. So I'd like to think that's what she's doing up there, having her fun, absolute fun. I'd be happy.
I have a question, Garo.
Go ahead.
So when you give readings and the family comes through from the other side, how do they know that? How do they do that? I mean, how do they know that you're going to give a reading tomorrow for Liz and she wants to hear from her mom and her dad? How does that? Is that even? Can you explain that at all? How they know to
Okay.
be there?
Very interesting question. Guys, you are coming up with beautiful questions here. Thank heavens for this meeting today. What I've learned is, we have this internet thing here on Earth where everybody is connected, sort of World Wide Web. I believe that we are sort of connected in a not too dissimilar way. I'm not saying that there's a mailbox and we receive mails or we do likes and so forth from the other side. That it doesn't work. However, I feel that they get the feeling that we are going to be connecting with Mr. X through this medium. So they get like alerted or they get a feeling, and that's how they are present. Obviously, somebody will tell me like, well, how do they know to show up at 2 o'clock and not 4 o'clock? I don't know. I feel that when the time comes, they know that it's time for them to come forward. And remember, when it's done in a genuine way, there are those that are the gatekeepers who will probably inform them, that send a signal to them. Perhaps they send a mass signal like there is going to be a communication here, or there's going to be a link. And this is sent en masse. Who wants to come through? And then they're vetted to see if this guy is suitable to connect or not. Perhaps this is how it is. I'm not sure. And why some of them don't come through. That's another interesting thing. I mean, I've had a lady who booked me once, nothing came through. And I said to her, look, we can reschedule or I'll give you the money back. And she said, no, we're going to reschedule. We tried the second time, nothing came through. I was a bit disappointed and I was embarrassed, but I'm not going to sit there and make things up. I said, I'm not feeling anything. Again, you want your money? I'll give you your money. or we reschedule. She said, no, we reschedule. Third time, same thing. This time I said, look, forgive me. If this hasn't worked so far, I don't think this is meant to work. Please, let me give you my, your money back. And she said, no, we are going to try again. I have faith in you. The fourth time we tried, and this time someone who her partner in life came through, and her partner who came through flooded me with information. The lady could hardly react to all the evidence coming through. She was in tears, she was sobbing, she was laughing. It was a very emotional setting. At the end of which she said, see, I told you. I knew it's going to happen. Why it never happened on the first 3 counts and happened on the fourth? No idea. No idea.
Mm.
And sometimes what's interesting is the people we least expect come through. There was a lady, she had 2 readings with me. And the first time her ex-husband came through, she wasn't very keen on him, but he still came through and apologized. And they made sort of some peace. And then months later, she booked me again. And I said, look, I've got this gentleman here, goatee and so forth. And she said, he came through the last time. I don't remember. I said, oh, okay. I said, this is my husband. He's a pain in the ass. Ask him to get lost. So I said to her, I'm sorry, it doesn't work this way. I don't choose who comes through or not. We ended the session. So it's very interesting who, how they choose and who chooses to come through.
So somebody that's died that you knew, do they die and then learn about you more, things they didn't know? I can't really give a good example, I guess. Like, so my dad died. Does he know everything that happened to all of his kids that he, if he wasn't around, does he know?
Yeah. Everything we do in life has a fingerprint. Talking scientifically here, from what I heard, like we leave an atom, fingerprint atoms or something, energy fingerprint. So everything has a fingerprint and they see it in spirit. So they will see the pain, the happiness, the suffering. They will see everything and anything that is related to the person if they're authorized to see. Of course, there are private things to the person. They won't see like private matters. How many times somebody had sex, for instance, with who? Maybe this doesn't concern them. But if it is something that concerns them and concerns the well-being of the person and so forth, they will see it. My medium friend who I described earlier, she's an older woman, and in her time, psychotherapy, for instance, was frowned upon. People used to make fun of it, like, what? This is for mad people. So she had to learn this silently and quietly, and she had to soldier on by herself and work 2, 3 jobs to pay for the tuition so that she could learn the skill. When her dad and mom died, that's when they expressed surprise, a great deal of surprise through another medium, at their daughter and what their daughter was capable of and what she does. They didn't understand when they were present. They didn't know that this is what she does. Any questions, guys?
Are you in England now?
I am, yes.
Good, good.
You're planning to visit me?
No, sorry.
Where are you, Liz? You're in Canada, are you?
No, I'm in Colorado.
Colorado, okay.
Yeah. But I was born over in England.
Oh, you were?
It was.
Which part of the
I don't
country?
remember anything. Pardon me?
Which part of the country do you know?
Um, Cambridgeshire? Cambridgeshire?
Okay,
It was an Air Force base. Yeah,
okay.
way back when.
I have a question about your skills or gifts that you have. Is it something that you learned or you always had it and you just went with it, or you learned to be a medium?
Uh, I learned the basic skills of how to open up, how to close down. Because I used to be very open at a young age. And I didn't know I was open. Erica knows because we've gone through some personal development together with her and other people as a group. So there are channels within ourselves which can be opened manually and closed when they are not needed. So I had to learn this, and I had to learn how to lower my energy, lower my frequency, lower the vibration to be able to focus. This I had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
The part of the channels, it was told to me by someone who was supposedly a spiritualist minister. He turned out to be a scumbag, just a liar. But I benefited from the fact that I learned from him the technique, just this technique. Everything else came naturally. And I had to find the pieces of the puzzle. My journey was never easy, Andrea, because there is no roadmap. There is no people you can depend on to give you a genuine answer. First of all, mediums are very jealous people. I'm not going to say all of them, but the majority of mediums are very jealous. They don't want to see somebody better than them, which I find absolutely pathetic. You know, a lot of them are very inferior, they have a lot of this inferiority complex. So they will not help you. They would rather not help you and leave you to it because they don't want you to benefit. They don't want you to progress. They don't want you to be better than them because they're worried you're going to steal their clients or you might find other people.
Yeah.
Okay, which I find, again, as I said, absolutely pathetic. So I couldn't get help from them. As for books, books for me are the worst thing ever. Books are written by people. Most of them are full of nonsense. Most of them are there to make money. Most of them will give you things that appeal to the mind. So you're reading, you say, yes, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense because it made sense to the mind, but that doesn't mean that this is the truth. So books can put it not. I found that the best thing for me, at least, was prayer. I surrendered myself in prayer and I started to ask for guidance because I went through hell. I went through a very difficult life to be able to reach the level I am. And I'm not saying just the physical pain. I experience physical pain as well, but mental, emotional, spiritual. I broke many times, went to the edge, came back. I had to go through a lot to go through the process. And I had to also show the other side, show my helpers, my guides, or the blessed angels that I am one who could be trusted. And that means that I am not to be, not to pride myself. Like, hey, look at me, look at my powers. No, it's not about you. So The more you are down to earth, the more you are humble, the more you are appreciative of God and the service and those people around you, and the more you're doing it for the right reasons, and that is for love. Yes, I do get paid for it, but at least I'm doing it for the right reasons. The more you do that, the more that they will trust you and they will guide you. And slowly, I started to feel changes within me. Every once in a while, I would feel different. I would feel like something is changing inside me and I couldn't really explain it. My sensitivity level would go high, then come down, then go up, then change. Things would be different. Sometimes I would find myself unable to sleep for a couple of days. I'd just sleep a little bit and I'd feel the buildup of energy. The lady friend who I have, she helped me, bless her, where she would tell me, calm down, it's okay. This is the energy, it's being built up. They're making some changes in you. Funny enough, sometimes I would feel like I'm craving certain foods that I wouldn't usually eat. Like, for instance, now, if you were to say to me, Gar, would you like to have some sardines? I'd say, hell no, I'm not. But during that process, suddenly I would crave sardines, for instance. Why? I have no idea. So it was a lot of changes I went through, but a lot of the anguish, the mental, spiritual, and emotional. One day I asked my communicator, I said, why? Why did I have to go through this? And he smiled. He said, you are at the other end of it. Most people on this planet go through it and never come out of it. So you have a taste of what they're living through. Andrea, you vanished.
Now,
Yeah,
now
sorry. Now I hear you.
I was told by a few people that my little one, who is 2 now, that he sees things. And I started to notice as well, because now he starts little bit to speak. And even if I ask about his father, because he was 8 when my husband passed away, 8 months, sorry, not 8 years, 8 months. He shows me that it's always up and he speaks with him. And I'm just thinking how to react to this, or how to, I don't know, help him. Or for me, it's very weird.
It's not weird. Why is it weird?
No, not weird, but I don't know what to do, you know?
Just be yourself, Andrea. You're a super mommy. Just be yourself. Give him love and just be supportive. And you don't need to teach him anything because he knows and he's purer than you and me and everybody. He's a pure child. He's an angel. Of course, he will see his dad. So just do it. Support him and let it grow.
Okay.
Okay, this is how it should be. Don't do what my mother did to me when I told her I'm seeing a little boy and I was only like 5 years old. And I said, Mom, I saw a little boy by my bed. She said, you're dreaming. You're dreaming. No, don't do that. Just listen. You don't need to give an opinion. Just listen.
Well, this is what I do now, because when he's waving as his dad, I am waving too. Well,
Well
of course,
done.
I don't see anything.
Well done.
But more than this, I don't know what to do, you know.
That's it. That's it. That's all you need to do. Well done.
Okay.
Well done. And children, by the way, are extremely sensitive. And they will see, they will hear, they will play. So I wouldn't be surprised if one day you'll hear him giggling and laughing, and you'll ask him like, what's going on? And he might say, there's a woman here and she's tickling me and she's making me laugh. Because that's how it is. And
Yeah.
Andrea, I need to tell you something. Children are very well protected. So don't you worry about anything. Okay? Children
Okay.
are protected from the blessed angels. So nothing can harm them from the other side.
Okay.
Okay. I had a
Yeah.
lady who came into church one day to see me, and she brought her son, and she was convinced that he's possessed. There's a beautiful little boy, 7 years old, 6 years old. And I looked into his eyes and I told her, I said, look, he's an innocent child. No one will go near him. By the time we finished the session, this guy, on his own, he came up to me and he just gave me this beautiful hug,
Mhm.
you know, and because he was comforted, because it wasn't about the possession, it was about her putting all this pressure on him. So just be yourself, have fun. And it's beautiful that your husband on the other side is actually connecting. This is lovely.
Yeah.
Assuming that one day when we go, we are given the choice of coming back. Would you guys want to come back to this planet?
Heck no. No. I'm good.
You're good? You'll stay there? Okay.
Yeah.
Andrea, would you stay there or do you want to come back?
Hard question. Depends. Like half year ago, I would have wanted to go over there, to be honest. I mean, not to do something, don't get me wrong, I don't
Yeah.
have those kind of thoughts. But looking at my life, how it was and how much I lost, to come back to this life, I don't know. I would consider it. But I don't know when you are asked if you know of what you are coming to.
Yeah, there's that. There's that, of course. We don't
How
know.
it can be worse, it can be better. I don't know what are the options, when you are asked that question, or if it's just a yes and no without any details. I don't know.
The problem is, unless you come back as Elon Musk, you're going to be living a very difficult life to try and make money and to try to survive and eat and feed. So it's like a vicious cycle. So, yeah. What about you, Liz? Do you want to come back?
I think I'd like to stay there for a while.
I
I don't
like
think this world's going to get any better, actually.
I like the answer. And you know what? I think I'm gonna stay with you for a while as well over there. Yes. Right, guys, we have time for one last question. If anyone has anything to ask, feel free to join.
Are you considering to do like group online readings, or just the individual ones that you do now?
I was considering doing a live demonstration, um, but it has disadvantages and it has advantages. And I'll be very honest. One of the worst disadvantage for me is I would hate to disappoint people by turning up, and if that day for some reason I'm unable to pick up,
Mm-hmm.
yes, that day will hurt me a lot because people would be looking forward to receiving a message. And if I, I'm there and I'm like, hello, everybody, nice to see you, and can't get anything. This is something that I don't like. I don't want to disappoint people.
Mm-hmm.
There's that one. Second of all, when I last had a group, a public reading like that, a demonstration, some people expressed disappointment in the end. They said, why didn't my loved one come for me? Why didn't this come for me? And I said, look, I'm sorry. I gave 6, 7 people communications. There were 30 of you. I can't get everybody. So I'm very sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad because some people, again, were looking forward. However, in one way, there is a lot of benefit in this exercise because it gives confirmation to everybody present that they can see that it's actually transparent and how the process works. So I might actually do it. I don't know. I'm thinking about it though.
Okay.
Yeah, I might do it. And if I am going to do it, I'll post on
On Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah.
Mhm.
The other thing is, do I get paid for it or do I not get paid for it?
I
And
would.
Thank you. And I thought perhaps, yes, I would charge for it because the problem is, uh, uh, I don't like the mentality of take, take, take. Some people, they have to understand that respect is both ways. So I'll see. I'm gonna think about this. The demonstration I last did, I didn't charge anything for it. It was to honor a friend who passed away. So maybe this one I will charge something nominal. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Liz, anything? Erica, anything before I say goodbye? And
No,
No,
nothing
I
here.
don't have anything else.
okay.
Thanks for doing this.
Well, thank you for your time. It's been absolutely a pleasure to connect with all of you. And I hope you have a lovely week ahead. And I pray that the light of Christ blesses you and your loved ones. And I look forward to connect with you next time.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Garo.
Thank
Take care.
you. Bye.
Bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.